Al-Majid. Are you recording now?
Yes.
Bismillah. Bismillah. Al-Majid. सज़ावार बे हमें चीज़ हा व बुजुर्गी हा बस सूफी रबायत के खुदरा मुतखल्लिक बेखल्क इलाही
Okay. Oh,
गर्दानत तसज़ावार बुजुर्गी वलक़द कर्रमना बनी आदमा व वअल्लमा आदम अल-अस्माअ कुल्लहा गर्दन. So the first, of course, like he's following his classical dual description. The first is the meaning, like sazawar be hame cheez ha, like the one worthy of all things, buzurgi ha, and all greatness. So Sufi rabayat, so the Sufi must ke khudra mutakhallik bi khulk ilahi gardanak. So the Sufi must then adorn or like create herself with the divine characteristics, right? I think this is the reference to the famous Sufi hadith that, of course, is central to like takhalluk bi akhlaq Allah, which is a hadith that's central to all Sufi cosmology. That create yourself in the characteristics of God, of course, going back to the biblical idea um, that is shared, of course, between the Islamic and the other Abrahamic traditions, that God created human being in her own image, and of course, in this tradition also, and also like breathed her spirit into human being. And as we saw in the beginning of this, I think he referenced the second verse. He references two verses here, and he referenced the second verse, that basically the foundation of interpreting the names of God has to come from both the hadith that he's referencing here, the tahalluk bi akhlaq Allah, and the Quranic verse that وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. And these asma, these are, what does it means that God taught Adam all these names so that Adam could become eventually become God by, or God-like, by imitating these names. So Sufi Rabayat ke khudra mutakhallik bikhulk ilahi. So it's not khalq, it's khulq, of course, which is a characteristic. Khulq ilahi, the word akhlaq being the plural of khulq. Bikhulk ilahi gardanat. So the morals, like when, of course, the akhlaq is literally nothing but majmua of godly divine characteristics in this tradition. Ta sazaware buzurgiye falaqad karramna bani adama wa allama adam al asma kullaha gardat. Um, so that the Sufi becomes worthy of the greatness, perhaps, of the task of um, the Quranic verse, the first one, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ, from, I think this is Surah Asra, verse 70, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ فَحَمَلْنَاهُمْ
في البر والبحر
وَالْبَحْرِ وَرَزَقْنَاهُم
من الطيبات
من الطيبات وَفَضَّلْنَاهُمْ عَلَى كَثِيرٍ مِمَّنْ خَلَقْنَا تَفْضِيلًا. That indeed we have karramna, like dignified uh, the children of Adam, carried them on land and sea, granted them good and lawful provisions, and privileged them far above many of our creatures. Tafdila. So, and the second um, verse being from, I think this is,
البقرة
yeah, Surah Baqarah 31. وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين. He taught Adam the names of all things, right? وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها. Then he presented them to the angels and said, tell me the names of these if what you say is true. And so yeah, I mean, basically, Al-Majid is the one who is worthy of all things and all greatness, and the Sufi must then adorn themselves or make themselves, create themselves with divine characteristics, um, so that they become worthy of the greatness, fulfilling um, these Quranic verses that we have honored the children of Adam and that God taught Adam all the names. Um, but it's the logical connection is again like many other names here is slightly vague, and I wonder if this is a um, takhsis like a shorter version of this commentary in some other text by Maulana, that by Muhammad Ghaus Gawaliari has a longer commentary, because one of the commentaries that is mentioned earlier in the beginning of the text is I looked it up when he's mentioning that there are 104 names often included by many Sufis other than 99. Like each of that name, like that commentary is 250 pages long. This is just 6 pages. So, and this is just like 6, 7 folios. And that is very systematic also. We can look at it, but that's also by 14th century, 13th century Indian Sufi saint. So al-Ba'is. Zinda kunandaye tane marduman. Ashraf, anything on al-Majid in terms of like the roots, you think, and how
The root is connected with
its
either
relationship to this?
the veneration or the glorification. And this is typical, how we say in English, quasi present, quasi passive participle. It's not passive participle, but it is semi passive participle. Like, I mean, it's an adjective that looks like should should signify what exactly the passive participle would be. So he is the one who is to be glorified. So the glorifiable, or the one who should be glorified. It is very similar to the Latin "os" at the end, like religious, spacious, this form that contain the thing, but not that it's about an action usually. But sometimes it's like marid, like sick, because he contains the sickness inside us, something like this.
So you said he's the passive part. Mujid is the passive participle?
It is not. It is the ancient passive participle in Semitic languages, which is still the form which is used in many North Semitic languages, like qatil in Arabic, the one who is killed. We don't use maqtul usually. And rahim can be both the active participle or the passive participle, the one who is showing mercy and the one to whom one shows mercy. So it is called in Arabic grammar sifa mushabbaha. So like an adjective that qualifies to a participle. That is exactly like the same meaning of a participle. Mostly is a passive participle, but can be also active. But in rare cases it can be active, but mostly it's passive participle. Like Janine, the fetus, it is like the same meaning of being majnoon, but it's not majnoon like the one who is hidden. Because the form Janine, Marid, the one who is being hit by sickness, and so on. And here, by the way, the participle is not past and present, and in Arabic it doesn't have any time. And usually in this case, context is like future participle, like gerundif, the one who's supposed to be glorified, the one who deserves to be glorified. Like when you say mafhum, can be like understood, like past participle, or comprehensible, like present passive participle, or comprehendi, like future passive participle. All the three meanings in Arabic are the same. Arabic doesn't have time, in the sense of time in the world. So it is just a passive participle, not active participle.
I only asked that because I would imagine he's also the ism fa'ala, the glorifier.
Al-Majid exists as a name also, but not very common. Al-Majid is the name of God as well. Al-Majid, the one who makes glory, the one who is the glorifier. So also
Magic.
here is active participle can be the glorifying or the glorifier. So the one who make this action in the past, in the present, or in the future, or always, all the four senses all together.
I see. Okay. I mean, Majid is, but Majid is used. Abdul Majid is a not common name.
Yeah, it is you. It also part of the more than 99 is one
More
name
than 99
that
names.
also
Yes.
attributed to God. Al-Majid.
The
Al-Wajid
expanded
Al-Majid.
universe of
I remember this. Yes, exactly. Al-Wajid Al-Majid. After Al-Wajid comes up in the list, other list.
Right. The list is, of course, according to Ibn Arabi, every language, every word of every language that ever exists is the name of God. So that's not
Interestingly, what I have just said will appear in the not the next name, but the name after in
right.
Ashahid. Will give you the
Yeah.
two senses: the one who is testified and the one who testifies, the one
Yes.
who witnessed and the one who is witnessed, both together because the word means both.
Yes. al-baḥr, zinde kunande tane marduman ra در روز رستخیز پس صوفی را که دل مرده خود را از یاد او از یاد و ارشاد حق
حق وإرشاد حق.
No, that's, but what is that after?
Zinde.
Zinde gardana.
Zinde.
Yes, zinde. There's he cut something off. I see.
Okay.
Yes, zinde kunan. Okay. So the one who brings the bodies of people to life on the day of judgment, the day of resurrection, rather. Pasufira, but therefore the Sufi must. He skipped the bayad here again. It's interesting, but Sufira ke, so the Sufi must that basically revive her own dead heart. Dile murde khudra az yadu irshad haq, from the remembrance and the guidance of the real truth of God. So the implication of, I mean, of course, this is such a fundamental name because it gets again and again repeated. I mean, you can't, you are out of the fold of belief if you do not believe in your body being resurrected. And of course, that is a fundamental theme, particularly of the early surahs, of that. Oh, they say that. That's that idea that, oh, how will the person who is dead be raised again? And it comes out again and again. But and this is an interesting sort of implication of it for the living Sufis, that, oh, well, your heart might be dead, so that must be again and again revived by Yadu Irshad Haq, with the remembrance and the guidance or of what has been told, Irshad, by the real truth or God. Go to Shahid, Ash-Shahid. Gawahi Rast, Gawahi Rast Alamul Ghaibu Ash-Shahadat. So the sort of the truthful witness in an alim al-ghaibi, the one who is the knower of the unseen, was shahadat, and the witnessed and the seen. So here, instead of ghaib and hazir, it's the unseen and the witness, the shahadat. So the one who witnesses and knows, and is perhaps here. It's not here. The meaning is just gawah, which is the witnesser. And the knower, it's not being defined as the one who is known, not yet here. Sorry, I
وقيل
just
حاضر
lost the
وقيل
page.
صادق.
I'm trying to come back to it.
Line 39. وكيل حاضر وكيل صادق.
Right. وقيل حاضر وقيل صادق. And
لا صادق الأقوال.
صادق الأقوال.
صادق الأقوال. Yes.
Okay.
وقيل حاضر وقيل صادق الأقوال. The one, and it is said, basically, to mean, it is also said to mean the present one, Ghaib and Hazir, of course. Hazir comes back here, or the one who is truthful in all statements, like Sadiqul Akhwal, the one, of course, does not utter anything that is not truthful. But Sufi Rabayat ke barai daryafte af'ale zahiri wa ahwale batini Hazir waqt bashad. So, so the Sufi must, for the for, I guess, the observation of their outward actions and their inward states, for finding them out, for the yaft, for understanding both the outward state and the outward actions and the inward state, must be hazir waqt bash. It must be present in the moment. Like I think Ibn al-Waqt is another way in which this idea appears a lot, that Sufi is Ibn al-Waqt, present in the moment, aware of the moment. And here we see, I suppose, the gloss on it as the Shaheed, as the one who is witnessing both the outer state, the outer actions and the inner state in the moment. Ta waqti az awqat u be ghaflat na rawad. So that that not a single moment, I guess, waqti az awqat like a single unit of time from her time is not spent in heedlessness, in ghaflat. Wa harche be zabane u jari shavad, and whatever comes to her tongue, be sidqo sawab wad. So is with truthfulness and virtue, or something that's, how would you, what you say sawab here?
Word.
Reward.
Reward.
Reward, reward. But here,
Like it's worthy of recompense.
Right. But in here, it's, I guess, perhaps, whatever is issues from her tongue is with truthfulness and reward or virtue. But here we don't see of course, the other meaning of a shaheed that Ashraf, you were talking about. At least not in this comment.
He is shaheed, like for this rule, for instance, shahid, we have in the Quran, shahidin wa mashhud. So there is a witnessing, a witness and a witness, clearly. But shaheed is both together. We see it in the word, at least martyr.
Martyr, yes, of course.
Because it is the one who is witness to have God given his life to God.
By others.
The intense witnessing, right? I mean, and that's what the Greek word martyr also means.
Yes, martyr. I mean, I witnessed them. So it actually is a translation, a semantic loan word, just with the meaning through Syriac. It's the same thing like what happened in Syriac. They got it from Greek, so they give it to us as usual.
Is the Greek connected to maybe not to mocht also? Murdan?
Yes.
Yeah, to die.
No, it's just I witness. No. I see, I witness. Martyr.
It's not mort, it's mart. Okay.
Mart.
It's a different
root.
root.
With a TA.
Marte, yeah. So it's not
I think the
martyrium,
the martyrdom is martis. I'm sure about that.
Right. Yes.
But it is coming from the act that I witness. But as happened, what happened in English also happened in Arabic as well. Like the verb has the three layers. I am here, I see, I witness, all the three. So to be present, that's why they said waqila hadir, like he is omnipresent, that's one sense. Then if you are present, you see what happens. So you see, as in English,
and then you say,
then
and then
you tell what happened, then you witness. So the three layers in Arabic as well. Shahida means the three things, as in English, also in Italian, the same thing. In English, the same thing, like the three
right.
verbs, the three layers of the action. But the original sense is to be there and watch.
And watch, yeah.
So that
Bear
is the
with
original
me.
sense in Greek.
Well, it's
وَقِيلَ
interesting.
حَاسِبْ وَقِيلَ سَادِبْ.
I think in Farsi also we use kind of shahid as the same, the three layer that, so we use it as a witness. So shahid, because even in a daily use now, you also say that. So you go to the judge and they ask for a
Court,
shahid.
yes.
So you said that, so just, and also shahid as somebody who's watching.
It's clear because you have to get the word shahada as the basic word for entering in Islam, must enter in Persian. So that is the shahada. You say ashhadu, so I witness that that is, and that's so. The starting point of entering in Islam is to say the shahada. Shahadatayn, so the two shahadas. But if you say Wallahu ala ma naqulu shaheed, you intend to say that God is witnessing what we are doing. And that's a very common expression in Arabic. Whatever you concord with somebody, you have to end Wallahu ala ma naqulu shaheed. And God witness what we are saying, so nobody can betray what we are doing together. And that's very common thing. But shahid is also used as the one who witnessed in the Quran many times. شهد شاهد من أهلها, for the story of Zulaikha and Joseph. In the day, in the worst day, that like وشاهد ومشهود قتل أصحاب الأخدود. There are stories that there were witnesses, people who witnessed them, and things that are witnessed, but you don't know about them. And we told them to the Prophet to tell you that he is trustworthy because he knows things that nobody knows about except him, that happened in ancient times. The story of the, I would say, the people who were thrown in fire in the Bible. So it is like this also about that is shahada. Like he witnessed something that he didn't see, but the witness here came from God directly to him.
The other, yeah, the other, of course, very common use of shahid in the tradition, which is not, which I think has survived that sense only in the pre-modern tradition, which has always been interesting to me, is in the poetic tradition. The shahid is the, which is slightly exemplar,
yes.
Exemplar of beauty, though.
No, it comes from the idea that when they made the first manual of Arabic, everything that he claimed that is the Arabic grammar must be sustained with a witness, with some saying from the Arabs themselves that sustain what he's saying. So if he says that al-fa'il should be a nominative, you have to bring a verse or from the Quran or a verse from poetry that sustain what he is saying. That is the shahid, that's the witness for what he's saying. And usually you need a witness from the poetry and a witness from the Quran, except for some few cases in which they do not appear absolutely in poetry due to the metrics, especially in morphology. So they can run to the prose in this case. But they trust more the poetry and the Quran only. And these are the witnesses. Another word was called later the dala'il also, but not exactly, but it is shahid exactly, because what witness that this rule is truth, is true. So any rule that even if exception to the rule, you have to bring a shahid to the exception.
That's the I was thinking of actually even another layer of meaning, which becomes, this is the grammatical linguistic tradition, but the shahid in the poetic tradition is the exemplar of beauty. Basically the young boy who everybody about whom the poetry is being written, like shahid is a young beautiful boy, and and actually that's where the name shahid becomes a common name. I think that's my theory, that basically all these boys were named shahid because shahid has a connotation in the tradition of centuries of Persianate poetry.
The beautiful young
it's
boy.
the object of beauty, the beloved. The beloved is shahid. And shahid is always, it's typically, not necessarily always, like a beautiful young boy, but basically the object of beauty, the one who, and that connection to me is interesting, right? How does that, like the person who's the most beautiful being, about whom all these poetry is being written and everybody's falling in love with him or her, how that is the shahid. But the shahid of in somehow the shahid of Jamal.
Exactly, that's the one who is the beauty. Being he himself an exemplar of the beauty.
Exemplar
But
of
also
the beauty, yes.
a bad thing
Yeah.
that shahid also is the tombstone.
Is the what?
Tombstone.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah, because
load, like the load.
it witnesses who is the person buried here. The tombstone also is called in Arabic shahid. Shahid al-qabr.
What stone is? I didn't understand that.
Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Tombstone. Okay,
Grave
okay,
grave
right.
stone.
As grave marker. I
Yeah.
see. Grave marker. Okay. Yeah. All right. Wonderful. So let's move to the next.
Sorry,
one.
I have.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, Nina.
I thought of an idea, and I wanted to know your idea how correct it could be. What came to my mind, I thought that the scribe of this manuscript perhaps has written it after hearing it aloud. So someone was reading this manuscript aloud, and the scribe has written it. So maybe به صدق و ثواب بوده, the ثواب, they heard it and they wrote it with
With a say.
but it was actually sad.
Sad.
Yes, and meaning
Yes.
words. Could it be?
Yes, I think so. You were right, Mina. I thought about it. I was like, why would that happen? But I think you're absolutely right, that because he's listening to it and transcribing it.
Okay.
That would make a lot of sense, because later in the manuscript, later in this transcription, we will see some places that are missing rubrication, and anyway. But thank you for saying that. Yeah, I thought about it, but I didn't that it could be the thawab with the thawd, but I wasn't sure how. But I think you're right. This
It would
is
make a
probably
lot
how.
more sense. I mean, this kind of works, but
Yeah.
would make a lot more sense.
No, because I mean, from that, like, what it's the same, like wallahu alam bis thawab, and God knows what is right. Like that's the most one of the most common things that is. I mean, that should be an academic necessity of publishing. Like at the end of the article, acknowledge your humility.
God knows best.
And God knows best. Okay. Now we are at al-haq. Al-haq. This is, of course, a name that appears all the time in this commentary. Rast durust मौजूदी कि वजूद ऊ मोहताज बगैर ऊ नीस्त. So al-haq, rast durust, like the true, the real, like the one upright and correct, existent mawjudi, whose being depends upon none other except herself, right? Rast durust mawjudi ki wujud u muhtaj بغیر اونیست. و این اسم از صفات ذات است. One of the, I think a few that are identified here as the name. This name belongs to the attributes of the divine essence. پس صوفی را باید که چنان در باطن خود مستغرق باشد. So the Sufi must be so immersed in her inward, internal being, که عالم ظاهر و عالم باطن در خود ببیند, so that she sees or perceives within herself both the outer world and the inward world and the outward world. تا هر چی جوید در خود یابد, so that whatever she seeks, she finds within herself. و بدون خویش محتاج نگردد, and apart from herself or her own inner reality, I guess, she's in need of nothing. who becomes needy of nothing. Huh. This is
That's not what I would have expected for the definition of al-haq.
yes. Another very mysterious logical leap. But this in somehow makes sense, especially in the context of that, instead of like, but that's the name that's being substituted throughout the commentary for God,
Like the real,
as like a
more like the real, or the really real.
yeah, the real truth. I think one of the translations that I've seen is real-truth, the real truth, the real / or dash truth, which is God. That the rast durust mawjudi ke wujud-e oo muhtaj baghair oo. It's like the necessary existent, right? I mean,
Existing, yeah.
in philosophical terms. I wonder, Ali, what is this? Do you, from the philosophical tradition, is
I think, it's just that I think it's kind of close to the term that we use for wajib al-wujud, that he just, and the starting point. So there's something that it's already there, it's mujud, but it's not comes from anything else, and everything is kind of starting point for that.
Yeah, the necessary existent.
Yeah.
That's how it is typically translated, right?
Do you say in this context it's better to say الواجب الوجود or الموجود بالقوة? Because I think it is more to موجود بالقوة
Probably.
than واجب الوجود. Because also الخير
Yeah, but it
واجب
could
الوجود.
be one of the, as it says, Safat is one of the main attributes of the wajib al-wujud. Yes, kind of say that, not exactly the meaning, so it's just going to be.
I think, it's a subcategory of the wajib al-wujud,
But
perhaps.
the point is that mawjud bil quwwa, so it's just going to be when you say that potentiality, so there, so when you have a potential, it could be it's kind of at the middle between being and not being. But here, when you say that موجودی که وجود او محتاج به غیر نیست, so that option that it not being is not possible here, so it couldn't be بالقوة, kind of.
Sorry, I intend to say الموجود بالفعل. Sorry, not بالقوة. Sorry.
Oh yeah, so yeah.
I think it is الحق is الموجود بالفعل. Like he is the truth that define everything after. He is already there. Whatever comes after is
موجود بالفعل. Yes, it makes sense.
But the implications for the Sufi, which is what we should be interested in, is that, I mean, this is very interesting. Chunan dar batin khud mustaghraq bashad ke alam zahir o batin dar khud bibinat. Basically, it's a microcosmic imitation of that quality of wujud bil fail, like you are enough for your own being. So whatever you seek, like you find it within yourself. I mean, this is a third person, of course. But so basically the Sufi is like, not other than herself is in need of no one else. This is, of course, similar to in the beginning that we had that very mysterious comment about how a faqir is someone who is not even in need of God, and we were like, what is going on? But yes, so there the idea being, of course, that you have transcended self. There is no self, it's only God. So of course God does not need God. All right. There is this is a unique way of above khish. If you see the sheen, I don't think he has used that way of writing the 3 dots before. Nathan, can you go above? Like, it's an orthographic peculiarity. In khish, bedune khish, above line, it looks like almost a 5. And I don't think he has used it before. But anyway, just wanted to note that. We can go to al-wakil now.
Yeah, but sometimes you also do the 3 dots as a 5, something like 5.
Yes, yeah, yes. But I'm saying
So
in
I
this
think
particular manuscript,
yeah,
that's
normally is
something.
doing other ways.
Mhm.
Yes. So al-wakil. This is, I think, a very important name. Al-wakil. Aan ke karha bedus separan bisabab aitamadu ihsan. The one to whom all matters are interested by virtue of trust and grace or pace. I mean, ihsan, of course, we discussed last time being how they're accomplished in excellence. Jonathan, sorry. You were saying something?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, an ki karha bedu separan bisabab etamadu ihsan. Pas sufira bayad कि खुद را من كل الوجوه التصرفات خود بیرون آرد. So therefore the Sufi must in every respect withdraw herself from her own self-directed actions, right? التصرفات خود, from like this is a strange construction in philosophically, I suppose. Basically get
Letting go of management.
exactly, yeah. Let go. Put it, entrust it to God, right?
Yeah.
In every respect, withdraw your agency from your own self-directed action, the things that you do in tasarruf. Tasarrufat-e-khud, like tasarruf, like uses, the things that you employ, come out of yourself in some ways. وَهَمَيْ أُمُورْهَا يَخِيشْ. Somebody wanted to say something. Okay. Yes, Ashia.
I would rate usually the تصرفات as modus operandi. How he administer, but it is like how he acts. It's like modus operandi. That's why we usually in modern language we also translate like behavior, like attitude, because it's the way you enact your actions. How
like the self-directed actions, the way you operate. Right. Basically, your disposition, maybe dispositions. The Sufi must basically remove herself completely from their own actions and dispositions and entrust all their affairs entirely to God. So, okay. I think it's time for the next page.
There we go.
Just remember that we also have I think it's a verse that we said وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ وَكِيلًا.
Yes. There's so many, of course. I mean, wakil.
Yeah. I like this word. It's just
وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ وَكِيلًا. I mean, tawakkal ala Allah is so central to everything.
it is usually combined with al-hasib. So
yes.
with
Hasbinallahi wa ni'mal wakil.
Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. So the one who will do whatever I desire is Allah, and there is no better than him.
But I think another point was, but another point was also, I think it's worth mentioning. So when he said that tamam wujuh, so it's kind of he make difference between different aspect of the Sufi's life or something. So, and he said that altogether he should just leave it to the God. But this is also is interesting for me that he kind of accept this difference and he just different wujuh that the life that had.
Sorry, Ali, could you say more? You mean not just the actions and things, but all aspects of life?
Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
I think that, so just for example, in regard of the actions, in regard of the personal, in regard of the others, so just different, so different kind of
Hmm.
every different wujuh that is
Right.
mentioned.
Kullul wujuh. Min, right. Min kullal wujuh as-tasawwurat khud. There is a verse actually that the commentary continues. So the verse is broken into lines. Sipurdam, the next line. Because the next page, if actually let's look at the next page as a as a whole, because it just to see what it looks like. This is a very yeah. This is basically how it looks like.
Switched.
So, but yeah, I mean, I just wanted to because this is not how the previous pages were, but he switches to this for this in the next page. Yeah.
You do this number, and then does he continue?
He continues like that.
Oh yeah, in the same, similar.
The same format. But yeah, the next I may not have like numbered it, but I numbered these ones, so we can go back to the line. Yeah, I drew the lines, and
okay.
Yeah, so they are numbered. You can click next, and it'll be fine. Okay. Sipurdam Betu Maya Khishra. This is the first misra. Tudani Hisabikam Pishra. That I have entrusted my essence, my capital, my matter to you. You know the accounting of the small and the great, or the profit and the loss. And then this is similar to what Ali you were saying, that basically, like, I've entrusted my essence, my matter. Like, this is you have it. My wujud, maya khisha, bitu sipardam, tudani, hisabe kamo bishra. Like, you know what is lacking, what is good, or what is profit, what is loss. You take care of it. I'm done. Wahar ke, and the next line continues, right? The same vein. Wahar ke umur, I think the ray is missing here. This must be umur. वहर के उमूर खुद बेदू सिपारत बेवजह एहसन बेइंसिराम रसानत. So, and whoever entrusts her affairs to God, to her, she will bring them to completion in the most excellent manner, I guess. Bewajhe ehsan, like the best way to get anything, any of your umurs taken care of, is to entrust them to God, and that's the meaning of tawakkul. Ali, you sent a link to something by
I
Nizam.
just found that
the verses
so
from
that
Nizami.
poem. Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's the last one,
Yeah.
the last verse.
Oops.
From Iskandar-nāmeh, of course, from Iskandar-nāmeh. Iskandar-nāmeh is such a foundational text in Sufi tradition. I don't know if it's been understood how central it is, because I've seen so many Sufi later texts that keep quoting from and building upon like things from Iskandar-nāmeh as like I mean, it makes sense, because I guess it's a mirrors for princes, like the Jawan Mardi, the Futuha text. Like Alexander being becomes the ideal hero, virtuous, the saint philosopher king that everybody must become, and especially it's in this context of takhalluq bi akhlaq Allah, of creating yourself in the image of God, of acquiring divine characteristics, and of course Nizami articulates that in that whole in the Iskandar-nāmeh, which then becomes rewritten. I mean, all of the Khamsa by later poets, of course. Hazrat Amir Khusro writes it, and then in South Asia, various Sufi poets writing in the vernacular, in Punjabi, they rewrite all of the Khamsa in those languages. Okay.
Timur, let's
So-
it's almost 11. Why don't we take a break here at these?
Oh yeah, it's 11.
Because I need to use the bathroom. So.
Okay, let's take a 5-minute break and then we come back.
All right, be right back.
Ali, is Maya how to say Persianate word, is Persian word, or is coming from Arabic?
Which one?
Sorry, can you say, I didn't hear you.
Maya.
Oh, Maye.
Is it
I think
Persian
it's
word or coming from Arabic?
I think it would be Persian because I mostly see it in the Persian. So in which context that you mean? So it just says, so you mean as
Yeah,
a
right here, Maya.
Maya,
I think it's Persian.
completely Persian because I have to search it because it looks like the Mahiya in Arabic, which is like the
Maya.
essences, the origin, the source.
Maye. Oh, yeah, maybe.
But it's just the
But
sound.
Mahiyat, we also use it as a
No,
so
Mahiyat is form, right? Mahiyat is form. I think the Maye, it's
no, Mahiyat
it's
is
in
essence,
Mahiya,
kind of
no, it
with
has
a
two
ha.
languages. Yes, it's essence.
Hmm.
It is like a
essence.
translation of the
Oh, right.
Latin,
Mahiyat, haqiqat, right. That's
the Latin
yeah.
use the
I
word
was thinking, I
really
confusing with Hawiyat. Mahiyat, yes.
Latin. It is the same idea exactly. Latin
Haqiqat,
uses the
Jawhar.
word. No, Johar is from Persian. We have Johar in Arabic from Persian,
Right.
and we have
Haqiqat from
also
Arabic, of course.
we have حقيقة, but the Arabic is like a translation for. Sorry, again, it's not a translation. We call it calc. Like we copy the meaning from another language. In Latin, in the philosophical language, it is quiddity.
Quiddity, yes.
So
No,
yes,
but this one apparently it comes from it comes from a Middle Persian ma'adad.
so here it means the origin. Like it is
Like the
like matter.
essence.
Origin, yes, the origin, the matter.
Yeah.
Because in Greek it is matter, the material, the matter. It
No,
is from the word
the
mother.
Greek is magia. This is the Greek it's seen. I was looking at the etymology. I mean,
magia.
magia,
No.
magia.
But
And
it's
then,
interesting. So this is a very kind of long discussion between the things. So we say that because so in the philosophical term they said that the mahiyat, so it's the packed word of is the sentence of mahiya.
Exactly.
So
No,
mahiyat
it
is the answer you give to the question of mahiya. So and it's
exactly.
when it's going to actually it's one of the I think it's one of the very interesting translation that in the Arabic translation they did from the Greek, because what the thing is coming from the Greek is tote tenai something. Yeah.
Exactly.
Tote,
What it is, and that is the answer.
yeah.
And we have did it
Yeah.
for kayfiyya, for
And
kamiyya.
yeah, and exactly Aristotle is using this. So when he wants to refer to the something like the mahiyat, he used the tote. So and this they translated to the mahiyat, which is very interesting and which it's very brilliant because it's exactly in the Greek, and when it's come to Arabic is the answer to the question of what
is
mahiyat. Yeah. So what is it?
actually it is all these terms we have aya in them. They are coming from the translation but it's not. It depends on how it passed through Syriac, because the word already the form usually appears in Syriac before, but it was mahit, like the same idea, like what it is in the feminine form, and the answer is it is so you know that is the essence.
Yeah,
but
kayfiyya is from modus. Modus,
yeah,
like in what way? So kaifa, so we make kayfiyya, quality, and kammiya from the Latin quantity, quant, how many? So kammiya is a quantity, and ayniya, the where you are, that is the ayna, ayniya. So Allah موجود بلا ayn, ولا كيف, بلا ayniyya ولا كيفية. So without place, exactly to be, and without a modus vivendi. So this is
Yeah.
again, it is all calc. That's what we call it.
Yeah, it is a calc
semantic
of the Greek ainai.
of the
But
Greek.
but it's also interesting because I mean it as I think like the mahia, what is it? Is also
Yeah.
Great word.
in echoed in it, right? Mahia. Like what is it? And then the iya being the calc of the Greek ainai. But anyway, Jonathan is back.
Okay.
So
Had to get a snack.
we should not bore others. Okay, so he's back to using two words and commenting on them together. Two names. Al-Qawi, Tawana, Al-Matin. Istaware bihamta. So Al-Qawi, the strong, capable, and Al-Matin is the firm, bihamta, without fear. این هر دو اسم از صفات ذاتی است. So again, these two names are also among the attributes of the divine essence. پس صوفی را باید که خود را در این ره عاجز و ضعیف داند. So therefore the Sufi must regard herself as weak or helpless, and weak and helpless on this path. अगर उरा दर इन राह रंज व मेहनत व बाला पेश आयद बायत के कवी व istawar, what should it be here? What is this?
Yeah, I think it's istawar.
Istawar, I mean, I think it's just badly written.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kavi o istawar o rasikh qadam bashid. I think the pen lost some ink. That's what happened.
Yep.
Here. So therefore the Sufi must regard himself as weak and helpless upon this path. And if ranjo mehnatu bala, if affliction, hardship,
trial
and
and tribulation,
trial and tribulation, yeah, Pishad, befall her, then she must remain strong, kavi, steadfast, istawar, and rasikh kadam, firm-footed, in the face of it. وَبِدُونِ حَقٍّ إِسْتِعَانَتْ not albad. So, and never seeking aid from any other than real truth. Now, the isti'anat is written interestingly because he's writing the ta marbuta, which is typically in Persian just becomes a regular ta.
Yeah.
But he maintains that the ta marbuta. So one not albad, where did it go? One nazar bar ahwal anbiya alayhim as-salam, and she should reflect upon the states of the prophets, like look at the states of the prophet. Chunanche bar Ayyub o Yunus o Zakaria sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So Chiha Rafti, what is the, let's go to the
nazar konad. I think
yes.
here it should be nazar konad ki cheha rafte. We don't have that ki, so it just makes sense. So nazar konad cheha rafte.
What happened
what
like,
happened
to them, like what were their trials, like all the things that happened to them, right? Like how grievous were the trials of Hazrat Ayyub, Yunus, like Job and Jonah and Zachariah, may God's peace be upon them.
Yeah, Ayyub and Yunus, kind of.
Yeah. Is this Zachariah written with a zal or a ze?
No, it's incorrect. Many.
It should be a ze, right? Yeah, it
Ze.
shouldn't be a zal.
Ze. But it's also many Arabs write it with that. I don't know why.
It's also what?
Many Arabs as well write the word with that, the name of the
Right. Yeah, because Zakaria with the Zal here sort of can seem like it's coming from the Zakir, like
Zakara.
related to Zakara, the one who remembers.
But
Yeah.
it comes from Zakhara, actually. Equivalent in Arabic supposed to be the verb Zakhara, like to have inside, like as a deposit, like to
Yeah,
store
Zakhire.
Zakhira, yeah. No,
Yeah,
yes,
Zakhira.
actually, we have the root with the Dal and with the Zay. Zakhara and the Zakhara both exist.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
But they commonly used in classical Arabic was the Zay, and the today's mostly used is the Dal. And that's perhaps the reason why we write also with the Dal incorrectly.
Interesting.
Because they believe it's common, it is the same thing. I mean, Zakara, it's the same thing.
What is
I
this
see.
clip right up here?
This is Sa'ad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This sallallahu, so
Yep.
instead of writing sallallahu, he just writes a Sa'ad and then alayhim as-salam.
What?
No, it's alayhim. No, I think it's like a Hamza.
No,
Because then-
this is not a Hamza. You see this is a very, I don't know if it's only South. This is, I mean, you even have a Unicode character to represent this. You will always see this above the names of the prophets and saints.
But you say sallallahu alayhim wa sallam, but he says cannot use sallah plus alayhim wa sallam. If you use alayhim, you cannot use the verb. So it is alayhim as-salat wa salam. You cannot use the verb when you use the expression alay, ala.
So you cannot say
Rasul
sallallahu
alayhi
alayhi wa
salam.
sallam.
No.
Right. No, but no, you're
Yeah,
right. But
yes,
you will
yes,
see.
cannot say it.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to
thought-
follow the rules if he doesn't
I
want.
thought like he
Yeah, I
did
think he
because
doesn't like with his. You've seen like it's also convention. For example, like even when you today, what you will read, what they will do is they will write in. For example, I've seen it in modern Persian printed, and I've seen it in Urdu. That they would write both those things. They would still write the Saad just as a practice. Yeah, it just it's like a habit almost. That let it be. Do not miss this. Be careful.
Interesting that it is usually the Saad, as in sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, is usually in Arabic tradition, usually is only inclusive
For the Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah.
Only,
Yes,
only.
yes.
And the others alayhim salam only. But
That is true.
It can be extended. It's just strange for me to see like Saad. Maybe sallallahu alayhim wa alayhim salam. Okay.
Yeah, I think you were right. It is typically, even in this tradition, reserved for the Prophet. But in this manuscript, I've seen it at least used a couple of times. We can suspend judgment on it and come back to it and see what it is. Okay.
And I have another reading for you said isti'anat. I will go back to read it as isti'anatihi, like with the hay. Because here, also here, أما بدون حق استعانته, so without the exact correct way of seeking help from him. Because I think, because it's
what would, how would, like, بدون حق استعانة, then who's the he referring to here?
To God. So that you, without seeking the help of God in the right way. Here, حق is like in the right way. As the book says, as written in the book, as in the money one.
No, I think here it's just isti'anat, because like they don't typically use that Arabic like isti'anat, the he form in Persian. Typically, it's just like bidune haq isti'anat ma talaba. Is typically how you would say it.
In the second place here, amma bidune haq isti'anat. What's the meaning of haq isti'anat here?
Wait, let's go to the amma bidune haq isti'anat.
Look like
Na gardan.
You're right.
Na gardan.
Those look like two. There's like the tooth for the noon for the te, and then those look like a hay.
And the hay. Like,
no, there is a hay for sure.
Without the right way of seeking help, was like asking him for the help, for the recourse. Without the right way, you do have to do it in the right way, because there's a many ways, but there's a right way.
Right.
Because there's also many hadith that use the expression of حق استعانة.
No, but it's like he's talking about the prophets, right? Amma bidune haq isti'anat. na kardan, like that they sought no help apart from God, apart from like they did not seek balke, I mean here balk bidargahe haq iltija avardan, that basic, but instead rather bidargahe haq. Let's go to the next line, Jonathan. Oh, naya avardan.
What?
This might be a.
Iltija.
Yet they sought help no one apart from God. Rather, they did not turn to refuge. बल्कि बेदरगाह हक इल्तिजा नावर्दन वबर रंजु बला साबित कदम मादन कमा. Okay. So actually they did not even plead to God. बल्कि बेदरगाह हक इल्तिजा हम नावर्दन, that they did not even turn to God for like seeking help. Waba ranjo bala sabit kadam madan, and they faced the trial and remained steadfast in their trials and tribulations. They stood firm, right? Kama
Yeah, but
qala
but
Khalil.
actually Yunus invoked God clearly.
Yes, I'm just trying to see what's going on. Maybe he's working. No, but let's look at this quotation, right? That Kama qala al-Khalila, that
في جواب جبرائيل
Khalil, Kama qala al-Khalil, hasbi min suali ilmuhu bihali.
بحالي.
Right? So it suffices me that like God knows my state, that she knows my state without my asking. So clearly there is a reference to not asking God, because God knows, and being steadfast even, or maybe in the previous line where he says that iltija naya avardan, it should be, it might be like balke bidune bedargahe haq iltija naya avardan, and bidune haq istianaat na kardan. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out, because here it's clearly implying that they did not even ask God for help and remain steadfast. But and the quotation would of course make sense with this quotation attributed to Hazrat Ibrahim, that like it's, God knows, why should I ask?
Can we also read like بدون حق as wrongfully, without considering that حق is a God? Like they didn't wrongfully seek refuge to God, but they did it when it was really needed.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not. This is typically not used, because the way you were saying, Ashraf, for that we see the word in the definition of al-haq is like rasti or durusti. That's the word that is used for the right and appropriate way of doing. And haq is like throughout the text, the haq is, and I mean that's very common, of course. Just in the Sufi tradition, particularly in the Indo-Persian tradition, you don't say Allah. Typically, you just say haq. Yeah, that's like, even you won't, like, instead of saying Khuda or Allah, or like, you use haq as the most commonly way of referring to God. And if you wanted to say like that, to do the appropriate way in the Persian text, you would say, like, you would use rast or durust to specify that typically. But yeah, we can, again, it could, I mean, it could, of course, with that Arabic sense, it could definitely have that to echo. It certainly can be echoed here, because these traditions are not, I mean, we have an Arabic quote immediately after this, hasbi min suali ilmuhu bihali. And so that's so basically you have to be qadi and mateen. In the Sufi must be qadi and mateen in the trials and tribulations, in the ranjo balao musibato mehnato wagaira, and be like Ibrahim and jump into the fire and it will turn into flowers if you're steadfast enough, inshallah. Okay, So, wali, dosto yari kunande. So, the friend, the helper, the protecting ally. I mean, of course, the here, I think here it's in the sense of friend, both of those words, but both of those words, dost and yar, are also the beloved in Farsi, right? Which is a interesting sort of double meaning and echo here, that because if you say just dost can also mean dost is a friend, but then dost can also mean beloved, dost. And yar, the same. Yar is also friend, but then yar is also the beloved. But yari kunande here, of course, like a helper, the one who is your friend and helping and protecting ally or helping friend. But Sufi ra bayad ki بغیر حق دوست ندارد. So, and here it can mean both, that the Sufi must love no one other than the real truth, or be friend with no one than the other truth. And of course, like, this word becomes the it's so central to in this Sufi tradition, as like wali is a saint and a friend of God, but then wali is also, then you also have wilaya, and the wilayat in the Shi tradition, that word is so central and full of meanings. कि बगैर हक दोस्त न दारद वल्लोह कल्ब रा as dosti dune haq pak sajad, and basically cleans the tablet of the heart of affection for anyone other than God. And we see the same quote that we see in another comment earlier, right? That وَقَلْبُ قَلْبُ الْمُؤْمِنِ حَرَمَ اللَّهِ حَرَامٌ عَلَى حَرَمُ اللَّهِ أَنْ يَلِجَ فِيهِ غَيْرُ اللَّهِ. So that the heart of the believer is the sanctuary or haram of God, and it is forbidden that anything other than God should enter that sanctuary. Tahaddi ke tamam nawali dunya wa majmuye neema akhirat barve arz kunand bin nazar qubul bar hich kudum na nagarad. So much so, like to such a degree, should this be realized, should heart be cleansed of any attachment other than God, that even if all the pleasures of the world and the totality of the blessings of the hereafter, even if they all were offered to her, that she would not look upon any of them with the eye of acceptance, right? Like, not accepting is one thing, to even look at something at the eye of acceptance, no. So now we have a verse.
So it is
Yes.
interesting you say the eye of acceptance. It looks like a translation on an exhibition in Arabic. We call it عين الرضا. Like to look with satisfaction. You have a look of satisfaction. It's عين الرضا, a look or eye of satisfaction.
Eye of satisfaction, yeah.
Yeah, eye satisfaction. It probably could be like a calc as well. So many calcs. Okay. چشم دل از نعیم دو عالم ببسته این مقصود ما زی دنیا و عقبا تویی و بس. So we have bound our eyes and hearts from the delights of both worlds. Our only aim, I guess, in this world and the hereafter and the next, is you and you alone.
Wabas.
Wabas. Tu yo bas.
Enough.
That's Egyptian. بس. In Egyptian, we say بس. This is exactly the same expression.
Hmm.
And
Oh, the
that's
same
all.
thing in Urdu also. Bas.
And
Bas.
that's all.
Bas
Yeah,
is probably one of the most commonly used words and spoken expression. Bas. Okay. و شما دوستی بالا مذکور شده است و خلق را به نظر محبت و مودت نگرد و به کارهای ایشان معین و ممد باشد. So this is an interesting line, like Vashumme dosti bala maskur shude. It's like that's a whiff of love has been mentioned above, like just a small like a small, like I don't know how, like a small part, like a whiff almost, right? It's a whiff of the nature of love has been mentioned above. And it is just like saying that it's only like a small whiff of the nature of love, this comment, like it comment can mean so much. But here we see that actually he's like the affective meaning of dosti and yari as al-wali is more towards love rather than friendship alone, right? I mean, of course they're both connected, but with these commentaries that to cleanse your heart of every other friend or every other than God, or even maqsood mazi dunya wa aqba tu hi ho bas, like there's none other than you. It's of course oriented more towards love rather than friendship alone. And then we said wa khalq bi nazar muhabbat, and here we have another, of course, gloss on it, which is of course muhabbat. Ashif, this is another example where the mahabbat in becomes muhabbat in Urdu. The a becomes u. Wa khalq bi nazar muhabbat wa mawaddat nagarat, and so the Sufi should gaze upon all creation with the eye of love and fondness. Wa bikarha ishan muino mummed bashad, and basically be a helper and supporter in their works or in whatever they need help with.
So like wali to creation. Yeah.
I was actually thinking about that. It's interesting that he doesn't say that in the explanation of the name, but for the first time, that is the original meaning of the word wali. Is that clear? Waliya actually is to come after.
Is to what?
To come after. That's all. To come after.
Yeah.
Which is closer to the English, like to look after also. Like I mean to, like I travel and I lead my brother after me to take care of my family. And that is the verb wala, from which comes the wali, the vice of the ruler, because he takes his work, he takes care of this part as given to him. And actually wali is the caretaker. Yeah, exactly. And wali is the trustee. The wali is the how we say the how we say in English. I mean, in the case of marriage,
guardian.
He's the guardian, exactly. The one who had to take care of me. He's wali. So Allah wali sabirin. Allah is the one who takes care of those who endure difficult moments. Allah wali ladina amanu. God is the one who takes care of those who believe in Him. And that is the sense of waliya, to take care. Exactly, to support, take care, give love. And this is exactly wali. Not the explanation they give false. It's not a friend. Friend is a common thing. If you entrust somebody with something, it's naturally a close person to you. And that has a very secondary meaning. But the basic meaning that I entrust you with this work. That's the very basic meaning. It's close to wakil. Actually, it's the one before. That is like, it is the one to whom we trust everything. We leave behind everything because we are sure that he will take care of that.
This is of course like a fascinating foundation for the idea of friendship and love as well, like something, like where it becomes friendship and love, but that is defined by the fundamental quality of that friendship and love is taking care. looking after, being a guardian, being a helper, right? Here, muin, mummit.
Exactly. What's interesting, like as I also live in an Italian culture, the expression like to the one, the most important person for you, in Italian they call it the point of reference. Like the one you are sure wherever you go, you will go back to this point. You know, this is like it is back always to this point. If you have the person, my father is my point of reference because I feel safe, I feel secure, I feel supported. That is exactly the same idea of wali. Like you have a point of reference. And this is God is our point of reference in this sense. Like the one whenever we don't have anything, we throw the things behind us to Him, and He will take care.
Yeah,
that's where comes the sense of friend, because also the friend is the one who do that for you. The very close relative is the one who does this for you. So it's your wali actually, and this is the thing. And also again, interesting for the same question that Sam asked before. Here, wali is a double sense: the one who gives this care, and can be also the one who takes the care, who receives the care.
I see. Well, wonderful. Let's go to the next one. Hamid, another very important name. صفت گرد شد از همه نیکی ها به زبان همه اشیا. So this is a weird construction again, like for me. صفت گرد شد از همه نیکی ها به زبان همه اشیا. What I understand it is like the one who's characterized by all good things on the tongues of all creation. And is there another way of understanding the sifat gard shud as hame neki haba as bizubane hame ashya? I mean, the second part is clear. The sifat gard shud is a little.
I don't know if
or something missing.
I'm looking for the. No, it is exactly the definition in Arabic.
What's the same in Arabic?
This is a definition in Arabic, actually.
I see. This is the definition.
Exactly.
I see.
But I don't know if the word exists in English. There is a word in Italian, lodevole, like praisable, the one for everything he has to be praised. So in Latin, they call it laudibulus, the one who deserves to have the laude always. For everything he does is cum laude.
Right. No, but I mean, to me, the grammatical, like sifat gard shud was a slightly unclear, odd construction. That's all. But yeah, I guess like the one who is, maybe there's something missing. I'm not sure, but like basically, yeah, the characterized by all good things on the tongues of all creation. But Sufira bayad ki sifate zamima khudra bihamide badal sazad. Next line, and I think I was just reading it from the shadows. Okay, the Sufi must then transform. I think we're in the next line. The blameworthy traits into praiseworthy ones. Sifat zamime khudra bihamide badal saadat wa hame azay khudra dar zikr farz haq hazir kunad, and make all her limbs present in the remembrance and service or performance service of the real truth. So that ta sutud, I think sutud, I think it is. It is sutud, I think.
تا ستوده جمعی موجودات و ممدوح تمام مخلوقات.
ستوده جمعی موجودات و ممدوح تمام مخلوقات. I see. Yeah. Yeah, it's just again his, I think, pen lost ink. So that he may become the praised one of all creations, of all existence. Va mutasif. Let's go to the next line.
هم صفات هنا.
मुतस्सिफ हमें सिफात हक बेगरद, and basically be characterized by or be adorned with the all the characteristics of attributes of the real truth or God. So again, like imitating the quality of being the Al-Hamid, like because Al-Hamid is defined by somebody who's characterized by all good things on the tongues of all creations. So it's a quality that encompasses all goodness, and the Sufi must then transform all the blameworthy qualities into the praiseworthy ones. This is a very, very, if you think, I mean, a dense comment in the sense that playing with both the sifat and hamd, like mamdu, sifate, like hamida, like sifate hamida, hamide, and of course, in the end, like the muttasif hame sifate haq. So going back again, like creating yourself in the quality and image of God, so that he may become the praised ones of all existence, or the commended of all creatures, and praised ones, and by being adorned with the attributes of real truth.
Actually, Taimur, Hamada and Madaha is the same root by metathesis. It's the same root exactly.
That's what I'm
Both
saying. Like
means to praise.
that's he's playing. Like that's the Mamdu, Hamida, Hamid, and then the parallel Sifata, being. But you're saying that they mean the same thing, Sifat and Hamd?
Hamada and Madaha both are the same root exactly, but
Like
just
Hamad
by
and Madah.
metathesis, like also like Araba and Abara. It is the same verb, but by metathesis. It happens frequently.
Right. Madah, yeah.
I was working on the word kusbe yesterday, and the origin of kusbe actually in ancient times was either kupse or kusbe. It's the same word.
I see. Okay. Yes. So the hamd and sifat that become very deeply intertwined here. Like, I mean, what I was trying to note is that in this whole comment, like he's just playing on these two roots to draw the meaning out, the sifat and hamd. Okay. Al-muhsi. Nigah darande har ma'dud. So the keeper, the one who keeps account of, I guess, of everything that is countable, of every numbered thing, or everything that every individual thing, the one who's a keeper of everything, I suppose. She. बस सूफी रबायत के दायमन बर अफाल खुद मुत्तले बाशद. So the Sufi must always keep watch or be aware of her own actions. Ta'uzui as azayeu, so that azayeu bi marazi haq karna konat, so that not a single limb of her body acts contrary to the pleasure or the will of the real truth of God. Wahij dami bi yade haq naravad, and that not a single breath passes without the remembrance of God. So, because God is the keeper of every numbered thing, the Sufi becomes a keeper of every action that emanates from the Sufi, and also even every breath, right? So, there's nothing that is not accounted for, and everything that is accounted for must be oriented towards God, whether that be action or even the breath. Okay.
just use this. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Al-mubdi.
Oh.
Hast kunande amniyat khalq. And I think after that we go to the next part. Pas Sufi Rabayat ki dar har ibtida bi af'al kunad. So let's translate the first part. Like the hast kunande amniyat khalq, the creator or the grantor of security of every creation.
Yeah.
Mubdi. It's interesting that the word is amniyat here
Yeah.
rather than something else.
Like existence. Here's what you would expect.
Huh?
Like you would expect like existence or like coming into being or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is it amaniyat? Why is it not like ibtida or like the origin or something else? But Sufi Rabayat ke dar har ibtida, well, we come to ibtida, like the Sufi Rabayat ke dar har ibtida bi af'al kunad wa به یک مرتبه مقید نباشد و همیشه در ترقی بود. Okay. So the در هر ابتدا به افعال کنه, this is another similarly strange construction that the Sufi must begin every beginning with action, or like in every beginning with like righteous actions, or that basically in every beginning act with deeds rather than words. I'm not sure.
Yeah. What does it mean? What is a ibtida here?
Beginning.
Oh no, but like beginning of just like doing something of
No, I think initiation.
Initiation.
Like to put into reality.
So you put into reality everything with action rather than words.
That could kind of make sense.
Right, with the right actions, that's implied, right? Like rather than, and because
is here.
Very beginning.
Ali.
Oh, so I think it's here. It's also very interesting for me because it's a kind of rich discussion also in the Islamic ethics regarding the different steps of the action. And there is a huge, so from the intention that once you try to do that and when you do it exactly. So even there's a discussion that, for example, even in the more the tradition says that, so if I think about something bad, is it going to have a react me, or I need to do it, or I'm just going to do that? So in what is the action? So where is the start? The action is the starting. Yeah. Yeah. So even in the last one, we see that. So we say that the nazar ba'af'al kunad means that, and also, so it means here he looks like he have two steps. So once the a'za, that what he is mentioning, so is doing the action outside, and the yad, that something that we have in our mind. I think here he wants to emphasize on the action on the last part. So when you do it and make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, this makes sense also because it reminds of earlier comments where he's talking about the khatire nafsani or shaitani versus the khatire
exactly
rabbani, right? That there is thoughts and then there is the action.
And that's why I have a weird idea. It is not amniyat in the sense like security or safety. It might be from Arabic as well, but from umniyat, not amniyat. Umniyat like the wish, like he brings the wish into existence.
Umniyat.
Yes, it's umniyat, not amniyat.
Where do you see
the definition? Like hast kunande umniyat khalq.
So it is not a wishful thinking, it becomes reality. That's to continue with what Ali said. Like, I mean, to bring what is a thought into deed.
And umniyat is
Umniyat is like wish, what you wish.
Oh, so basically making the wishing and creating
Yes.
the wish into
From the
action.
wish, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So
From
he
the wish.
desired, you remember that God had a desire when he
To
created us.
realize, yeah.
He felt that he needs to be praised, so he created us to praise him. No? So that would be maybe the word umniyat here. Not amniyat, but umniyat.
Umniyat. Okay, this makes
That
sense, right?
it is a coincidence because that one comes from the root amana, but one comes from the root manaya. But it's just a coincidence.
I see. So the one who brings into existence the wishes
wish.
of
Yeah,
the
the thought.
creation, the
Yes.
thought, the thought. I see. I see.
That is why the Sufi should do it, because the wish will come true because of the God is has konande umniyat.
If you
Mm.
provide action.
So because God, or I mean, as you're saying, to pick up on that, because God is the one who brings into existence the wish of creations, the Sufi must bring into action the thought. Har
Exactly.
ibtida ba'afal kunat.
That would be what the
Like basically act on it, don't just sit and think. Bring it, and that makes sense. Like the next comment is like har ibtida be afal kunat wa be yak martabe muqayyad na bashad, and do not be qaid or do not be bound to a single station, like to a single spiritual level. But hamishe dar taraqi huwa, then always be basically
always
advancing,
going up, yeah.
going up on the spiritual path in progress. So whatever you wish for, act on it. You certainly, it's assumed that the Sufi wishes for advancing spiritually, but act on it.
Can't just sit there and think about it.
Yes. Do not just contemplate. Knowledge without action. Again, I mean, this is so dense. I mean, all of these comments are so dense, which also gives you a sense of like the readership, right? Like the people who are reading, like they probably have either a teacher who has this collective knowledge that we are trying to reconstruct, or they themselves have that kind of knowledge where they don't need to think so much about it, or maybe they do, who knows, but this is so dense.
There might be somewhere like within this manuscript, like a kind of supplementary text that would support this.
Probably, because I mean, you have things like, the commentary on some difficult verses of Rumi and in Wa'un. It's a lot of things like that in this text, but yes. Okay. Now we are, what time is it? Oh, we have a
Yeah, we can do a couple more names probably.
we can just, if you can give me a second, I need to just get some water. What's the root meaning of the name, Ashraf?
Mu'id?
No, the previous one that we were
Bada'a.
like
But
innovation.
Al-mubda is coming from the af'ala form. Abda'a. So he caused something to start, to initiate.
Like to initiate.
Like to break. In English, I don't know if, because I am mostly Latin mentality, but it's like to principiate. Like remember that in the beginning was the word, no? That is the first expression, no? And it is in Latin in principle, in principle. And here is like who gives the principle, who make the things have beginning. So God is the creator in that sense, who gives a beginning to something. Bada'a is to start or to initiate. And here is al-mubdi, who cause the things to initiate, who bring things into existence, for instance. And from this on, they will continue. So they start at that point. And it is like coming from the idea of he is a principle, which is something also from the Christian theology plus the Greek philosophy as well. Like he's the first of everyone, the first. No, that
Is it
the idea, no?
related to the arche?
Yes, it is the idea of not arche is that is equivalent here is maternal because the antiquity was the arche was usually feminine, not masculine. But it is like he is yes the principle of principles. He is the principle. He is the principle. So he is the one who principiate, who make the things having prince, having initiation. Then comes the second, the replicator, and he can do that again. That is the name, the other name, al-muḥīṭ. He can replicate that again. So he can give another life to assist the life before.
Yes, but we can make it more complicated. So we should put it next to khaliq. So to see that, so is it when you create or give it to the principle to something that it wasn't there? So it's like a, or
that's the problem. That's a big problem because the Arabs didn't have one clear theory of the creation.
I see.
Like we have many nearing neighbors, and each neighbor has his way. Like the in the Levant, the idea of the breathing exactly. Also somehow no in Sumerian was like to spit. God spit it in the mouth of the statue. It's the same idea somehow. But Arab didn't have one clear thing. But khalaqa is not the exact one used for creation. The mostly used one is bada'a.
Is it connected?
Bada'a.
What is this?
Sorry?
Is it also connected to badi? Badi is the same.
Yes. Badi'a samawat, like the creator. Because bada'a is to create ex null.
So what, for example, like then in phrases like you have Badi'ud Jamal, like what as a name.
Again, what we said before, it is a passive and active participle of bada'a. So it is the one who creates and the thing that is created.
The creative,
So
okay.
And the creation is an act, a miraculous act, no? A miraculous act. So Badi'a al-Jamal, like, is miraculously beautiful.
Miraculously beautiful, like.
It's like extraordinary beautiful. Okay? That comes from sense. It is Allahu abda'a fihi. It's not only that he created him, but he created him with artistic touch.
Artistic touch.
But
innovation, there's the sense of innovation, right? The innovation.
And that is, I said, that is the name that means to create out of nothing.
Right.
Khalaqa, we can use it as human being. No problem for that. Because khalaqa means also something else. But bada'a means like just to have something out of nothing. So mubda' is like a genuine creative, a creative person. Like a person who comes with the idea that nobody thought about before. Like in art, that we call it mubda'. Not khalaqa. And the badi here, like he is the one, because it's also based on a very long history before. I mean, there's a long discussion about God in the Judeo-Christian culture, which is based also on the interaction with the Greek pagan philosophy. And here we have this idea of like God, he is the principle, and he is the one who gives, like he principles the things, make that the things has a beginning. So he brings things to light. What we Italian also to say to bring to light. The things were all before didn't exist, and thanks to him, we give initiation. Now they exist.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And if they cease to exist, he will give them back again another how we say breathe, and they will come back again.
Come back.
That's the idea.
Right. This is an interesting with like the next verse, the next word. I think there's some interesting like from our connection here. Al-muḥīṭ. Let's read that. And you will see what I'm saying. I think. Bar arande khalq bad halaki shan. So the restorer, the one who brings creation forth, like brings them again after their annihilation, बाद हिलाकेशन. पस सूफी रबायत के दर हालत नफी तमाम मौजूदात रा महव साजद बाज दर हालत इस्बात साबित कुनद व इन नफी व इस्बात ताल्लुक बेरशाद दारद. So again, a very dense comment, that the one who restores, the brings creatures forth again, bararande khalq, baad halakishan, after their annihilation. So the Sufi must, dar halat nafi, in the state of negation, tamam mawjudat ra mahv sajad. So basically, efface all existence, wabaz, and again, the halat isbat, and in the state of affirmation, nafi isbat, sabit kunad, like reestablish them or reaffirm them. Wa in nafi isbat ta'alluq bi irshad darad, and this negation and affirmation pertains to spiritual guidance. I mean, like irshad, or this is a very obscure comment. But what can we understand it a little more with the root, maybe?
From the Mu'īd, there were some trend in Arabia before Islam that who believe that there might be a God naturally who create everything, but he's not able to resurrect. So it is clear that many times in the Quran, وَهُوَ الَّذِي يَبْدَأُ الْخَلْقَ ثُمَّ يُعِيدُهُ وَهُوَ أَهْوَنُ عَلَيْهِ. It's even not only that, it is much easier to recreate. He said that it's much easier still, because that we're believing in the dahr. They call it the dahr, which is equal to Kronos in the Greek culture, the god of time. So they believe in the god of time who created the things, but it's finished there. So we will disappear, and that's all. Then comes God to say, no, I can do it again. And the second one is much easier because I did it already before.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you think that somebody who can create it once cannot do it again. What kind of thinking is that? I mean, this is the same meaning we saw in al-baḥr, but the comment there, al-baḥr, was very different.
But al-baḥr is very generic. Al-baḥr is the one who sent back. Here, the back is like implicit. It's not said, because ba'atha means to send, to mandate.
To the one.
Al-ba'atha is the mission of the Prophet. Like he was missioned. That is ba'atha. هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم. So he sent in the Julim one prophet from within them. That is the things of ba'atha. And the mab'us is the envoyé. I mean, voyager, the one who is sent to something. So here means that they are dead. So he sent them back. He brings them to life again. But it's a metaphor.
But the comment here, I mean, if you go back, Jonathan, to al-baḥr, it's related because it's also about where is it?
No, there's a big difference. Ba'ith is the one who resurrects. But
yes.
al-muḥīṭ, he can do all the creation once again.
I see.
So he can recreate everything.
So resurrection and then recreation, two different things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, here it is, al-baḥr. Zinde kunande tane marduman. I see. This is very specific. Zinde kunand. It's after al-Majid on the bottom middle half line.
Yeah, that's right here.
That zinde kunande tane marduman, like the one who resurrects the bodies on the day of resurrection. But Sufira ke dile murde khudra az yado irshad haq zinde gardanat. So resurrect the heart with the remembrance and irshad of God, versus mu'īd is that in the state of negation, efface all existence, and in the state of affirmation, reestablish them. Though, and I think a lot of like these, like the comments are referring to like halat isbat or halat nafi are probably elaborated in another text. Like, for example, his Jawahir al-Khamsa, the text that he has all kinds of like it's a very long text. It's been translated into Urdu also, of course, and commonly available. But there, I think I was browsing through the table of contents, and I think there must be places within that text or other texts where all of these things are elaborated, like how to do this. Like there are vazaifs for how to become X, or how to convert your sifate, like your blameworthy traits into praiseworthy traits. Like that is a different text which tells you how to do it. This tells you, I suppose, like the larger abstracted meaning of it.
Yeah. And I think here also with al-muḥīṭ, with difference with the al-baḥr, it's, I think, the purpose of it that it mentioned at the end, which is irshad. So as you see that, so here a part of it is that تمام موجودات را محو سازد. So first you need to محو. So first you need to نفی, and after that you need to spot it.
You need
So
to have something
and
to show you
yeah,
how.
and the whole this process is happening for the irshad. So the purpose here, kind of, I think it's the irshad.
Yeah, I mean, and the next two, I mean, maybe we can quickly read the next one if you want, but that's related also, right? It's muḥīṭ, the zinde konande, like the one who brings to life, and muḥīṭ, like miranande, like the taker of life, the giver of life and the taker of life. Pas Sufi rabayat ke az awsafe, next line जो है ना कि az awsaf bashariyat bemiranat wa bisifat haqiqat zinde gardanat ta bifanaye sarul abdu faniyan wa bibaqaye, I think next line, where did it go? Wa bibaqaye الحق صار باقيا متصف شود. So basically the giver of life and the taker of life, al-muḥīṭ wa mumeet. So the Sufi must die from the qualities of human, like from human qualities, as Safi Bashariya Bemirana, like Basifate Haqiqat, right? So the opposition between Bashariya and Haqiqa, right? And then be revived with the attribute of the reality and the truth. Basifate Haqiqat Zinde Gardana, Tabi Fanaye Sar al Abdu Faniyan. Is this I haven't looked it up, but is this a quote?
It sounds like it.
Anybody familiar with it?
No.
It is very kind of standard Sufi.
Yeah.
Baka.
Of course, like that, so that basically be revived with the attribute of achieving the like fana and baqa. But I was just wondering if it's a particular reference that basically so that for all eternity the Sufi may remain enduring in the baqa and ennobled with the dignity of those friends of God.
There is something similar in
about whom that is said that you shall not die.
There is something similar in Ibn al-Arabi, but it's not verbatim.
But not with what?
Not verbatim, not literally like this sentence. But there is the idea of also like to negate completely, deny completely these human qualities in order to get into the divine baqa.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Sufi. I think you find this in a lot of texts and thinkers.
I think maybe, yeah. So basically here it's like, I think actually even the next words, we will come back to the next time, we can even pick up from here.
Yeah.
Because the next one is al-hayyu al-qayyum, right? Al-muhiyyu al-mumeet, and then you have al-hayyu al-qayyum. So here it's like killing the traits, like human traits, and be made alive by the sifat haqiqat, like the attribute of truth, so that so that like by this annihilation, tabi fanai sar al-abd faniyan, the servant becomes like truly annihilated, right? And the subsistence of the truth he becomes is characterized by abiding, that is like passing from fana to baqa. But I think this is something that we should come back to and pick up maybe from the same al-muhiyyu al-mumeet for the next class.